Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, and well, in today's video, we are going to discuss the best settings in Assassin's Creed, or the top 10 settings in Assassin's Creed. Now to be fair, there are only 11 settings in the mainline Assassin's Creed games, so it wasn't really that hard to eliminate one. So yeah. But anyway, before I go any further, I would just like to say, if you do end up enjoying this video, then do press the like button and also do subscribe to my channel for more content, because that helps. Also, I do realize that this is not the most original idea in the world. Hell, the only reason I even got this idea was because I saw one of the videos saying the best cities or something in Assassin's Creed, and I thought, you know what, why don't I make this video and give my own opinions on it. So that's what this video is. I'm also going to try something different, so if you like it, let me know. Anyway, let's get on with it. So at number 10, I have America, or like more importantly, America during the American Revolution, Assassin's Creed 3. Now, this setting is on number 10 because honestly, I don't quite like it. I'm not going to say it's bad, especially with the things that were going on with the world. It's a revolution going on in the world, so of course that part was brilliant, except the way the world was built, the cities were just boring and it was all very grey. And the most fun I had was with the frontier, and I just feel like there should have been more to this setting. I don't think they did the setting justice. Now moving on to number 9, I have Constantinople from Assassin's Creed Revelations. Now I know this is just one city and there were more locations there, like Rhodes, then Cappadocia, and of course Masyaf Castle, so Masyaf was also there. But overall the setting, it was good. It was like really pretty, it was beautiful. Overall the world was nice, and honestly every single setting that is on this list is nice. None of them are really bad settings, so there's that. So it's nice, but the settings that I'm going to talk about after this are even better than that. So that's why it's in number 9, not because it's something bad or anything, it's just it didn't really have all that much going. So alright, now we move on to number 8, which is medieval England, Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Now in Valhalla, of course, we see that the Vikings are now settling down. The Viking expansion is now happening. Of course, that's exactly what we are doing, we are forming allies and stuff. So we can see the Viking expansion happening. Of course, this is the second generation of invasions that happened in England. The first generation was already done with people like Ragnar Lothbrok, I think his name is. I don't know. I can't quite remember. That was the first wave that came. This is the second wave. So yeah, overall, I'm really liking this setting. This setting has its own charm. It is maybe not as glamorous as the settings that are going to come after this, but it's a good setting nonetheless. Assassin's Creed sort of works here because I have seen a lot more opportunities for stealth than some other settings that are actually higher up on this list. But yeah, it's a good setting. It's a definitely good setting. The world is great. It's beautiful. It is not very glamorous or anything like that, but it does what it does best. Now at number 7, I have Holy Land from Assassin's Creed 1. Now of course, I'm saying Holy Land because it's a combination of a lot of cities. That is Damascus, Acre, and Jerusalem. Of course, Masyaf is to be mentioned there because of course we are literally located in Masyaf. Now, as far as the location is concerned, love it. I really loved it, and especially when I first played Assassin's Creed 1, it blew my mind. Of course, I had played Assassin's Creed 2, Assassin's Creed Black Flag at that point, so for this setting to still surprise me is a huge deal. So yeah, I really like this setting. Of course, it was a very rudimentary gameplay systems in those settings, and honestly, even though the world felt really immersive, it has not aged particularly well. So I am going to give it that. But overall, yes, it is a very good setting. And of course, the only reason why it's at number 7 is because there are stuff higher than this. And I highly doubt anyone will disagree with what's coming on the list. At number 6, I have the Caribbean. During the golden age of piracy, Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. Now, I know I'm not pronouncing it correctly, but yeah, sorry about that. So of course, here we have a lot of cities, like we have Havana, we have Nassau, and so overall, just all the islands with the seas, the way we were going through the world, It's a beautiful world. It's just really, 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 really good. It's one of the best settings that I've ever played in any open world game. So yeah, this is a really good setting, and honestly, I don't have much else to say about this. It is just a really, really good setting. And of course, in this list, I'm not considering any sort of characters or story points. It's just the setting. So if I just consider that, it's a really good one. Now, moving on to number 5, I have ancient Greece. Now, people who are on my channel, I've said this in many videos, and of course, if you have been on my channel, you know I'm not a particularly big, huge fan of Odyssey. I hate it. I hate it with everything I've got. But one thing I cannot deny is that the setting is awesome. Ancient Greece is an awesome setting, especially during the Peloponnesian War. It's a really good setting. There's a war going on. Yes, it wasn't executed to what it should have been. Like, it should have been a lot better, but it wasn't. But even with what we got, it was a great setting. I loved actually being in that world. Even though the world did get a little bit bland, it had issues here and there, but the setting itself was great. So yeah, it deserves its spot in number 5. At number 4, I have ancient Egypt. Now, from number 4 to number 1, there is actually very little to actually, differentiate between these settings. Not in terms of these settings are very similar, but in terms of they are so equally good that it kind of pains me to put one in 4th and the others, ahead of it. So of course, ancient Egypt is something that I was very looking forward to. It was not really ancient Egypt. It was more like somewhere between ancient and medieval, because it was during Julius Caesar's time, when Julius Caesar actually went on his conquest and he came to Egypt and, how should I put it tastefully? Boinked a few people and also killed Ptolemy. So yeah. I really liked that because there was political intrigue there and the whole story, and I'm not going to consider story in this, but overall the setting, the pyramids, then Alexandria, Memphis, it was just perfect contrast between Memphis, the more ancient side of Egypt, and Alexandria, the more modern side of ancient Egypt. So there was a good contrast there. Then there was Cyrene as well. So overall, I really love this setting. So yeah, it's at number 4. At number 3, I have Paris from Assassin's Creed Unity. Now, of course, this was during the French Revolution. I have studied so much about French Revolution in my school books, and honestly, when I started playing Unity, the only other Assassin's Creed game that I had played at that point was Assassin's Creed Black Flag and Assassin's Creed 2. I hadn't even played Brotherhood when I started playing Assassin's Creed Unity. I saw the trailer, I was so excited about it, and I just jumped in. And honestly, I loved the setting. I still do. It is so beautiful, but also it is so broken. Like, you can see that the forts are crumbling, that the palaces are being, under siege, but there are still so much art, there's so much stuff in this world. It is just great. With the new Anvil engine, they just really did justice to the setting. Without the bugs and glitches, I know for a fact that this game could have been a turning point for the franchise. And probably we wouldn't have gone through this shitty RPG era, but, it is how it is. But yes, this is one of my all-time favorite settings in any game. In any game whatsoever. Now moving on to number 2, and this might surprise a few people, I have Italy from Assassin's Creed 2. Now, again, I do not know how to pronounce this country's name properly. I am just going by what I have heard. So please don't judge me for my pronunciations. But yeah, this was during the Renaissance era. And of course, the world is just, how do I even put it? It's a perfect setting for Assassin's Creed. It's a perfect setting for any game. Like, even if anyone else wants to do this setting, please do this setting. Because it's so good. The world is so beautiful. There's just everything in this world just wants to make you go live there. Yes, there are doctors wearing plague masks, but also yes, it is still very beautiful. So yeah. So of course, in Renaissance Italy, of course, I cannot go by without talking about the cities themselves. And of course, we have Florence, where of course Ezio starts off, and we have Monteriggioni with the Monteriggioni Plaza and all that. We go to Tuscany, we go to Forlì, of course Venice, such a beautiful city. I am almost sure I'll never actually visit it, but from the games especially, it looks really nice. Rome, of course. Rome is something that I wanted as a setting during Caesar's time, but of course we never got that. We got Egypt instead, but I'm not mad about that. But yes, we did get Renaissance at Italy, and we got Rome, and just it's really nice. It deserves its spot in number 2. It is just one of the most beautiful settings that I've seen in a video game. That's like all video games combined. It's one of the most beautiful locations I've ever been to in a virtual medium, or even in a real medium. Like, I haven't been to that many places. It's probably one of the most beautiful places I've seen. So at number 1, I have London from Assassin's Creed Syndicate. So of course this was the Victorian era London, and of course the industrial age was just beginning. They still were ruling over India at that point, and that should probably bump it down the list a bit, considering that I am Indian, but no, not really, because see, you know, I was talking about ancient Greece being really beautiful, Egypt being really beautiful in that sense, Paris being beautiful, and Italy being beautiful. London was not beautiful. I mean, it was kind of. It had these huge landmarks. The what was that? The Victorian Tower? No, the Elizabeth Tower. No. Let's just call it Big Ben. The clock and the tower that is beneath that clock. Yeah, it had that. It had the Parliament, of course, and everything. Everything in this game is there. And you can just see, like, you can, I've seen the modern day London in so many movies and everything, and even in games, and to just compare that to like the beginning of what was this modern era during the beginning of the Industrial Revolution, yeah, this is one of the best settings that Assassin's Creed has been to. Now, admittedly, the game itself wasn't great, because even by my own admission, this game ranks near the bottom of the Assassin's Creed games, for me at least. But the setting itself is something that I really enjoyed. Like, there was so much, I spent so much time in this game just walking around, doing nothing. I was not playing missions, I was not killing people or anything, I was just walking in that setting because I honestly loved it. I really liked the world that they built, and I honestly feel like they did a lot of good jobs with the world. Yes, the graphics were slightly downgraded from Assassin's Creed Unity. It was not as good looking, but honestly the world that they created, I really enjoyed it. It was like thick smoke, smoggy everywhere. There were trains running, there were tracks, the people going around. The population could have been a little bit more, I would say that. The population was really low for some reason. But overall, yeah, I did really enjoy it. And to me, it is the best setting that Assassin's Creed has been to. I just wish that this setting got a game that really did it justice, you know, because the game that it did get just didn't do the setting any justice. So yeah, those are my opinions though. I would love to know what you guys think. Do you guys agree with me, disagree with me? Do you guys have a better setting in mind? I kind of wanted to do another video where I speculate, not really speculate, but really talk about what settings Assassin's Creed could go towards, and maybe I'll talk about that. I'll maybe do another video. But of course, this is the end of this video, and do let me know down in the comments below what do you guys think. And of course, like the video if you like it. And also, there are a few things I want to talk about. I'm trying this new thing with editing. Do let me know if you liked it or not. And also, yeah, I'm trying to do other videos as well. Like I just said, there are a few ideas that I have. And also, don't worry, the Valhalla series is not gone. It's still going to happen. It's not gone. And in fact, by the time you're watching this video, I might be live streaming. Like, this video is going to go live at 9:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time. So about maybe 1 hour later, I'll start streaming Valhalla. Because the reason why I didn't upload yesterday was because I just got a new ISP and I had to set a lot of things up. And now that they are all set up, I can stream now that I have a better bandwidth. So yeah, hopefully this ISP does not let me down. And hopefully I can bring you better content in the future. So yeah, that said though, I will sign off here and I leave you guys in peace.